things you can't do in America but are okay in the UK. All right, this should be a fun list. Let's go.
Hello everyone! We're having to do this video from inside today because there's something going on outside. It's smoky, it's just miserable. So,
and the nights are drawing in, it's getting dark out there.
So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the things that you can do in the UK which are a big no-go in the US.
Yes,
I'm so
curious. For those
curious
of you new here,
what these
my name is Zach, this is Annie. About a year and a half ago, we moved our family from California to Scotland, and many of the things that we are going to discuss today, we have personal experience with.
Yes.
So let's get started by talking about some money and taxes.
So, have you ever wanted to play the lottery?
This is not one we have personal experience of.
No, we have played the lottery, we just have never been lucky enough to win. If you are a resident here and you're playing, you keep your full lottery winnings. This is mind-boggling to me as an American.
Yeah, it was mind-boggling to me when I went.
That is, they take like at least half. I think it's almost like 60% of our lottery winnings or gambling winnings of any kind.
You see the numbers, like one of the jackpots got close to like $1 billion or something crazy. And in the States, you're losing between 40 and 50% of that. Yeah. Like gone.
Right
taxes.
off the bat.
The IRS immediately claims 24% and then more is taken when you file your income tax. Jeez.
Whereas, like Annie said, in the UK, if the jackpot is 10 million, you get 10 million in your bank account. And
that's actually really nice.
That's yours to keep.
All right, what's the
Not
next
that I
one?
wouldn't.
Next one is if you are a UK resident working in America, you do not need to pay UK taxes on your income.
Okay.
Working out anywhere in the world, not just America.
Yes. Not the case if you are an American worker.
This was 8 months ago. Didn't they? I feel like they were trying to change this. No? Okay, maybe not. I might have misheard that. I thought I saw something online that they were trying to get that passed, but never mind. All right, we'll keep
working anywhere else in the world.
Yes.
You have to pay taxes to the country you're working in as well as America.
Yes. If you make over a certain threshold, there are differences between if you're working in the UK, generally the tax is higher, so you might not have to pay. You might not be double taxed by the US, but yeah, there's some gray area there, and you might actually be taxed quite.
The US is only one of 2 countries in the world that does this. The other is a small African country.
I think so.
But yes, when I was working in the States for a UK company, I actually got a tax rebate for the taxes I shouldn't have been paying to the UK. So that was all done for me. So that was nice.
Talking about things being done for you.
Oh yes, taxes. Still on taxes. The UK, if you are just a sort of regular employee with a business or a company, nothing special or fancy, just 9-to-5 job, all your taxes are done for you.
Yes, there is no such thing as turbo taxing over here. Whereas in the United States, you have to file your own taxes, and then I feel like they're just waiting for you to make a mistake so that they can come for you.
Even if you just have...
I don't know, though. I kind of like doing my taxes because I can write so much off because I own my own business. But yeah, I guess if I was like a normal, just what we call W-2 worker, it would probably be really nice for the government just to do my taxes for me.
One job, like no special circumstances, you are still responsible for filing those taxes. Whether you do that yourself with the online tools they have, or you hire an accountant to do that for you. Like Annie said, someone made a joke about this. It's like the IRS know how much you owe, but they won't tell you. But if you get it wrong, they'll let you know that you're wrong. It's like, just tell me already.
Just do it for me.
We could do a whole video about that. Yeah. We won't. But over here, it's just, for most people, it's just not even a thought.
The last one, which we've harped on before, but in the UK, what you see on a price tag when you're out buying pretty much anything is the price you pay. Whereas in the US, depending on the state you're in, you're going to pay anywhere between 7 to 11% additional tax on pretty much everything.
And despite Annie's claim to be a genius at mental math, doesn't. It's not
Never
the same.
know.
I don't know how a little kid doesn't like.
It literally could be anywhere that you're at. There could be a city tax on there. Like I live in Tennessee, and in the area that I live at, where we have one of the highest sales tax in the entire country, but we have no income tax, state income tax. So it kind of balances out, but it's quite a bit. It's like 10%. It's really
Yeah, I
low.
have £5. What can I buy? Anything that's $3.47.
Yeah, you look at one thing and it says $100, and then you go check out and it's
No
like
fun.
$115.
But let's move on from taxes to driving.
Oh, okay. Talking about driving, this first one is something that got me told off by Annie. In the UK, you can park on either side of the street facing either direction. Whereas in the US, you can only park on the side of the street facing with the flow of traffic. So we were trying to find a parking spot on a little 2-lane road somewhere, and I saw one on the other side of the road. I was like, oh, there's one. And I was like, what are you doing? I'm like,
What are you doing, crazy?
it's like,
Just pop
don't
right
worry,
in there.
I can parallel park. She's like, not the point. You can't park facing that direction. And right enough, all the other cars were facing that way. And I mean, I guess it makes sense safety-wise, but even in the UK driving test, you're required to cross over the traffic, stop on the other side of the road facing traffic, and
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. Another one with driving is that you can drive for almost the whole day and never see a policeman patrolling in his cop car on the highways. That is just something that's totally different from the US.
yes, I can definitely speak to that one as a
Yeah, we have cops everywhere.
For a California Highway Patrol officer, yeah, we were out and about in force
Oh, they're the
and trying to
worst.
be as highly visible as possible. And pretty much every state has their own highway patrol who's designated just to work on the highways, obviously. But here in the UK, you do have specific traffic police officers. But like Annie said, you see one every once in a while, every few days if you're lucky.
They rely a lot more on traffic cameras
Yes.
to get speeders, and other than
Okay.
that, nowhere
Whereas
to be found.
Whereas we would gang up and work as a team to get speeders and chase after them, and
Like raptors.
it was fun for us, but all in the name of safety.
Yeah.
All right, this last one is one that Annie has taken full advantage of, and that is that passengers in the UK can consume alcoholic beverages.
Oh, I didn't know that. We have that here in Tennessee as well. One of the only few states that have it, but really cool that people have that. I always was curious about that, like why that was only a law where I live, but when I lived in California, you go to Arizona or Texas or New York, it's not a law.
Woo!
That's why she's been delaying getting her.
It's the best when you're going out, especially like you have a group of people. There's like 5 of you. One person is a designated driver. You know, we're going to dinner, night out on the town, and everyone can bring a drink in the car and be able to drink in the car, and it's very
Her
convenient.
driver license is so long.
Why? I want to be drinking in the car. No, that's just not allowed in the US. You cannot have an open container of alcohol in the car if at all, or just when someone's driving.
It cannot be within the driver's reach. It can be
Okay, well, yeah, maybe they haven't read every state's laws.
like in the boot or the trunk. But yeah, essentially if there's any open container in the car, that is a violation in the US.
And
One
he
that I
will
have-
get you.
One that I have written, and yeah. But yeah, not one that Annie has partaken in. There's not really a huge need, but just a very interesting one nonetheless.
It is.
All right, since we're on the topic of violations and laws, let's talk a little about the laws. The first one is regarding jaywalking. This is something I knew of in
Jaywalking.
the States, but didn't really know anything about it. And it was essentially brought in, not initially for safety, but in order to facilitate the dominance of the emerging
Automobile industry.
That's the one I was looking for in the States. And yeah, so basically in the States, you have to walk or cross the road at designated crossing points. You can't just cross wherever you please. Whereas in the UK, you can, as long as you do it safely.
Yes.
And
I think I've spoken on this before here in the States. Yeah, jaywalking is illegal, but I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone getting a jaywalking ticket. You can even do it in front of cops. They're not going to pull you. Or like it's usually pretty
the
chill.
term jaywalking, Annie,
Yes, it comes from the term J, meaning sort of like country bumpkin, unsophisticated.
It was brought in to show that you didn't know the rules of the sophisticated city. Like, you're from the country. You don't
was a poke to show that they were ignorant.
Yeah.
So you didn't want to be associated with being a J or a jaywalker. And they ran this entire campaign, which we can put some of the visuals up on screen now, where it's just making you look like a fool. Like, anyone who's a jaywalker is an absolute fool. And then they did it around safety, playing it off as, oh, this is for safety. But I mean, who doesn't know how to cross a road?
Yeah,
really?
that wasn't actually the initial intent. Which is
a lot of people.
Very interesting.
Actually, let's be real.
I think too.
What's
People
next?
are dumb.
The next one is becoming prime minister over here is easier than becoming the president in the United States for one specific reason. Do you remember what that is?
Yes. Introducing Prime Minister Annie. No, yeah, in the U.S., you have to be a born U.S. citizen. If you remember back to when Obama was becoming president, there was a whole controversy
Oh God,
around that.
I remember this.
But in the UK, you just have to be a citizen, not
Yes.
a naturally born citizen. So
Really? I did not expect that from the UK. You don't even have to be a naturally born citizen to be prime minister. That's kind of wild. I mean, it's just foreign to me because I'm not used to it, but I guess so. All right.
as soon as Annie gets that citizenship,
I'm
that's
going for it.
to the top.
Can't wait.
The next one, this is one we've talked about a bit in other videos, but it's the right to roam. It's slightly different in both Scotland and England, but essentially
right to roam?
you have the ability to walk and go wherever you wish as long
Oh, is this where you can walk on other people's property?
as you're respectful of the land you're walking on. And it's more free in Scotland than in England, but compared to the US, they're both much freer, and there's less chance that you're going to get chased off somebody's land with some yelling.
A rifle?
With a weapon of sorts. Yes, so it's incredible here to be able to just go out, open someone's fence, walk through land, what looks like a footpath, and even camp on people's land, as long as you don't stay there more than, I think, 2 nights, and leave the land as you found it. That's key in all of this.
Really? You can camp on someone's land?
But just so different. You cannot do that in the
Oh my
States.
gosh.
Do not try.
I thought you had to just
They would-
walk through.
They would just assume you're an intruder, and they would either confront you or call the police.
Yes.
Like if you were just walking on someone's
And you would get
acreage.
arrested in the States.
Yeah,
likely.
for trespassing. Yeah.
So another one in the law section is that in the UK, you only have to be 18 to drink out in the open, out in public.
Okay, we knew that one.
And
Legally.
legally. But no, behind closed doors, the age is much younger. Yeah. What's funny is in the UK, I think you can drink as early as 5 behind closed doors, like in a home. But no one
5?
can technically buy alcohol for a child.
So they just have
So
to
it's
find
like,
it by themselves. I may have
They can have a
left
little
it over
sip.
there, but I'm not telling
But
you.
just
I say 5, but I think I was had to have been 7 or 8 when my dad would be like, "Can you go get me a beer?" When he would be inside the house, and I would go out into our garage in the refrigerator and grab a beer and open it for him, and I'd be like, "Take a little sip. Here you go, Dad. Why'd you open it?"
yeah, it's funny how they have those little loopholes. And then in the US, you have to be 21. There's no drinking behind closed doors legally at any
Yeah.
age before 21.
Yeah, this is a funny one because
We still do it though.
it becomes in the US. It becomes this like huge thing because you're passing that sort of college age, and it just becomes this big thing you're aiming for. Whereas feel in the UK, because it's so much younger, you don't. I don't know. It's just not built up to be such a thing. But yeah, we could do a whole video on that as well. But
I think so many people have done that and gone into just how insane it is that someone can fight in a war and
fight in the
can,
war, get married, but can't have a drink at their wedding.
yes, just
Get tattoos.
completely insane to me.
Next up is holidays. In the UK, you are entitled to 28 days of paid holiday.
God, that's gotta be so nice. Man, I think the most paid holidays that I've ever had in my life was it a week? Maybe 2 weeks, 14 days in a
In
year.
the US, you're not. There's absolutely no.
But it
legal
wasn't, let me clarify, it wasn't like government instructed paid holidays. It was just the company that I worked for allowed me to have paid
requirement in the
holidays.
US, which again, I'm sure many people have spoken about it and there'll be lots of comments about, but yeah, in the UK, the sort of whole work-life balance, holiday time is just more of part of your package, really.
Yep. And this also plays into the maternity, paternity leaves. You are legally allowed to take up to a full year off as a mother, and you can split that with your husband as well, or your partner. So you can share that time between the two of you.
That's really nice. You're able to split the year between your partner. That would have been great, because I think every time we had a kid, I just worked pretty much all the way through. Might have taken like 3 or 4 days off, and then I just went back to work. And then my wife, she's a stay at home, so she didn't work, but
it's
still
not paid the whole time at the full rate, but it is subsidized compared to in the US, they only have to hold your job for 12 weeks, which is crazy. And they don't have to pay you that whole time either. And this all depends on if your job even falls under the FMLA
private employers with 50 or more employees.
So
you have to be a big company.
Whether or not you're a full-time employee, that
Bigger
all plays
company.
into it too. So yeah, if you're just part-time working at a small company, probably don't get anything.
Next up, we're going to the court of law.
Yes. So this one's pretty interesting. In the UK, to be convicted of a crime, one of the big ones that requires a jury, you do not have to have a unanimous vote to convict someone. It can just be 10-2. Whereas in the US, when you have that big
major crime,
it has to be a unanimous vote.
I kind of like I'm going to be completely honest with y'all, all right? I kind of like the unanimous a little bit better, because you could have two people that are just, you could have one person, I guess, right? You could have a jury of 12 people and one person thinks someone's guilty when everyone else thinks they're not guilty and can convict that person. I don't know. I've never done jury duty, and I don't ever plan on being in a situation of having a jury over me, but yeah, interesting.
I didn't know that. Yes. Interesting to me too. So make sure you pick your jury well, I guess.
Didn't they again here, you know what, actually we're gonna look it up, because I thought there was also like some jury changes in the UK. I mean, I must just be getting like false information though. Let me see. Okay, I was right. There was introduced in February of 2026. The bill aims to tackle a Crown Court backlog of 78,000 to 80,000 plus cases by reserving jury trials for the most serious offenses. Removes defendants' right to elect jury trial for either way mid-level offenses. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff. So there has been a little bit of changes. The rationale says that these aim to speed up justice, judge-only trials 20% faster, reduce delays for victims, and free up juries for serious cases. The government argues that there's no absolute right to a specific trial mode, jury versus judge. All right, looks like the bill has advanced. All right, interesting. I don't know.
Yes. All right, big topic time, healthcare. Oh my goodness, I can already see the comments. Don't get me started. In the UK, healthcare is effectively free. Yes, it's paid for through your taxes, but when you go into a hospital or doctor, there's no exchange at point of service, which is different from the US. You will receive a bill if you go to the hospital.
You could say that.
You will receive a bill if you go to the doctor. You will receive a bill if you get transport anywhere by any sort of medical anything. So, and those,
I mean, not if you have insurance.
Numbers are big.
Yeah. A lot of times, most people do have health insurance in the US, and depending, it's typically linked to your job. You can pay separately, not linked to your job, but you usually get the best through an employer. And that'll cover a large majority of those bills. But a lot of times you have to hit your deductible. So you're paying out of pocket up to $5,000
and the deductibles are
crazy on medical expenses. Just when you go into the doctor's office, it'll be a $20 copay, and then that goes towards your deductible. And then if anything huge happens after that $5,000, it can be completely free at that point. But it all just depends on your plan. It's not the same for everyone, and it's not equal.
I don't even want to get started on healthcare, because it literally makes me so mad how the U.S. healthcare system is. Yeah, I don't know. It needs reform. Like, we need something done to it. Just do it.
For everyone.
And it's not the same if you go to one doctor versus another doctor, in network, out of network.
Depends on how they code things.
You need to know what you have, where you're going, this, that, and the other. But like Annie said, like just taking the kids in to get a checkup or something, it's like, okay, just how are you going to pay your deductible? And it's like $20 before anything happens.
But you'll get the bill and it'll show that appointment was $445 in total. You paid that £20 or $20 deductible. It's crazy to see the actual numbers that they bill for, though. I can't even wrap my...
And it's cheaper if you don't have insurance, which is so wild. We got to do an entire video on health insurance or healthcare between all the different European countries in the US. That would be hilarious. And it would probably be a 4-hour video.
Head around some of the ones like the maternity stays, holding your baby, having the doctor.
Yeah, that's actually a big one. Like having a baby, for us in the States, we had really good health insurance. And it still probably cost us like between $2,000 and $5,000 for each child. Whereas the UK, you walk in, have your baby walk out happy, and
yeah. See, when I had my first 2 kids, I was still fairly I don't want to say poor, but I was struggling. I was hustling. I was out there trying to work my tail off to make money. So we qualified for like a Medicare, Medi-Cal type of insurance, which is essentially free healthcare. So a lot of people in the US have it. I don't know the percentages. I would imagine probably 40% of the country is on some type of Medicare, and they don't pay for any type of health problems. It's just when you get into that like middle class, upper class threshold that you have to have it and you'll start getting charged. It's dumb. We also just have a lot of unhealthy people that drag down the healthcare system here in the US, which then increases costs of insurance, more doctor visits. You know, a lot of people here that aren't even supposed to be here using up a lot of the resources in our healthcare system. So yeah, it needs a massive overhaul.
And like Annie said, the actual number that their hospital is trying to charge could be $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. But your insurance knocks it down and then covers it, and you pay whatever's left.
And if your child needs more intensive services, you're looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars as what they're billing.
It's not going to take much for you to see the horror stories online where there's bills for millions of dollars. And
people know, but that's where people do go broke. Whereas if their insurance doesn't cover certain things, they think it might, and then it doesn't.
Or it used to and it doesn't anymore.
Yes, or someone doesn't have insurance, then... that's worst case scenario. So yeah, I don't envy that position, but it's awful when you think about it in that regard. The next thing is you don't have to worry about calling an ambulance in the UK. That once again is free technically, but all right, in the US,
I feel like that should have been covered in the last one. But
an ambulance
we've both had an ambulance ride, and they were both very short. Thankfully, we were okay. But both of ours were probably less than 2 miles.
Yes.
$5,000 each, just straight up. Like, didn't even get that much treatment on board the ambulance or anything.
Yeah.
And seeing this.
Yeah, it's insane. People here in the States, if someone gets hurt, you have to have someone else call the ambulance for you, because then you don't get charged if someone calls it for you, saying if they call 911 and saying there's a person on the side of the road with a broken leg, they seem like they're hurt, they'll send emergency services. The person on the ground then doesn't have to pay for the ambulance ride if someone else called. But if you're the one that calls, and I'm pretty sure this is like how it works, because I've had an ambulance ride and I didn't have to pay for it because I didn't call for it. But yeah, it's so dumb. It's ridiculous.
Firsthand from the Highway Patrol.
It's so ridiculous.
The people that
it makes me so mad.
For the medical care in the US are typically the fire department, and they basically want their stats of how many people they've transported and treated. So they'll talk to someone who's involved, like my experience, involved in a car accident. Like, oh, ma'am, you should really get your neck checked out. Like, the airbag was deployed, this, that, and the other. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. And I'm there, like, knowing that that person's going to get a bill for, like, $5,000 just to go down the road. And, it's all... I mean, the guys are doing their job, and they're trying to help. They are trying to help the people. They've got
trying
nothing...
to make them safe, yeah.
They've got nothing to do with the actual billing side of things. But when you've seen the process all the way through... it's kind of sickening, actually. Whereas here, like, yeah, you can phone an ambulance and not worry financially, at least. So
The last part of medical services that we're going to get into is prescriptions. In the US, once again, it's all based on insurance. Some people's monthly medicine can be something like $5 per month, up to thousands of dollars per month, just depending. In the UK, in Scotland, it's free. You do not pay for your prescriptions. In England, Wales, Northern Ireland, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's just under £10 for anything.
That's got to be nice, especially for like the older generation, right? You need medicine, not having to pay. It's just what are the next subjects?
Getting it for £10.
We had first-hand experience in the US recently when we went on a holiday, and it was the first time we'd been back that neither of us were employed there with health insurance.
Yes.
And of course, our kid gets an ear infection. So we go to what they call urgent care, which is like anyone can go in and get medical assistance. And we're like, oh, wait, this is going to cost us a lot of money. And it
we're like, all right, how bad are you actually feeling?
And he actually spent some time phoning around just to see, are we talking hundreds, thousands? Like, thankfully,
$200
in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that bad. It was like $250, something like that.
My daughter had an ear infection like 3 weeks ago. We had to take her to the little ER and go get her eardrops and get it checked out. And I think it was like $200, maybe $250.
$250 for a 15-minute appointment to tell us that he has an ear infection.
And then the amoxicillin was $15 for the prescription. Yeah. Luckily, because medications.
Go to the chemist and you're like, am I going to have to pay $10? $1,000?
Yeah.
And people often in the States won't even tell you how much it's going to cost because they don't know, and it also is so dependent on so many other factors. Like Annie spent a good couple of hours phoning people to be like, how much is this? How much is the medicine? This, that, and the other. And it's not an easy task.
Same thing for dental. I chipped my tooth this last visit, and it needed to be fixed. I couldn't go the whole summer with that giant chip.
Look like one of them country bumpkins.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The UK dental is not covered under any healthcare. And let me see if they say it or not, and then if not, we'll look it up. But I remember that. I've watched so many videos now, you guys. I know quite a bit of all your guys' countries, especially the healthcare systems.
One of those jaywalkers. And so I went and had that fixed, but no one, except for one
$450
no one would tell me the cost. And they're all like, well, you need to come in. We have to see you. That we will tell you is $220 just to be seen, just to look inside your mouth. And then depending on the treatment plan, we will bill you the rest. I was like, I can't be billed. I am paying out of pocket. I have no one to bill.
That's
but
the thing.
Me.
They don't want to give you a number because then people will like, oh, you said a phone is only $200. So so it was a whole thing. But yeah, we were down like $600-700 for two minor.
I know. It's awful. So we've learned our lesson. Get your
travel insurance
when you go back. We will never make that mistake again.
All right, they didn't say it. I gotta check really quick. Hold on. I just want to see if my memory is just absolute or not. Maybe Scotland does. You know, I could be wrong. No, the UK does not provide fully free dental care for everyone. Okay. NHS dental services are available across the UK, but most adults pay charges for checkups and treatment with significant variations by nation. Okay, so it could be different throughout the different countries.
This next session, I guess, is probably just some miscellaneous items.
I'm thinking because we're now sitting in the dark, we might have to reconvene. We had to switch things up. We were sitting in a cave, and whenever we turn on the lights, it's just not conducive.
It's almost 6 o'clock, and it's just...
Oh, the lighting was fine.
It's just got a lot darker, so... and I have to work tomorrow, so this is the only time you can film it. However...
Gotta be quicker than that.
I'm gonna read through the last few items we had, and feel free to discuss them in the comments. Okay, so you can have dogs in pubs, restaurants, a lot more places in the UK than in the US.
Yeah.
I did not know that. What's a new thing? All right. Dogs are welcome pretty much in pubs, restaurants. Interesting. Okay.
Dogs can be off leash a lot more in the UK than in the US.
Ooh, I don't like that. You know me. I'm going to be honest, you guys. I don't like that. Your dog should be on a leash. I've seen way too many people get attacked by dogs, or a dog attacking another dog. Like, it should be on a leash.
Where else? You can buy alcohol without an ID. Even if you're like 75 years old,
what?
You can still get ID'd in the US. Annie has personal experience with this at a 30-year
But you can buy alcohol without an ID in the UK?
reunion.
I just want to punch myself in the face.
Her boss made her ID all the
Everyone was there. It was their 20-year high school reunion, and I'm like, don't make me ID them, please. They're like, we have to ID everyone. And people cussed at me. This is when I was a bartender. I think I was 18,
Annie
21.
was also a terrible bartender, but
anyways.
Here we go.
All right.
You can travel to Europe for cheap in the UK. That's a fairly obvious one and something we're looking forward to doing.
What did he just say?
Anyways.
Here we go. You can travel to Europe for cheap in the UK. That's a fairly obvious one and something we're looking forward to doing. You can buy and sell fireworks here.
That.
California, I tried to buy fireworks and they're not fireworks. They're like maybe a sparkler if you're lucky. And many other places, I think, because it's probably drier in the US.
I think.
Yeah, it's funny. Are they Canadian? They kind of sound Canadian. I'm going to be honest. And then they were living in the States. But California is like the strictest out of all the states with stuff like that. Fireworks, it was just the 4th of July. I bought a ton of fireworks. It was a blast. So it's different in every state. It's kind of like, our states are kind of like the UK with you guys' countries. I'm sure it there's variations, but same thing here. Every state's different.
A lot of times they'll have them across state lines. So in Georgia, we couldn't buy fireworks, just your ones that you shoot off in the backyard that go 200 yards into the sky.
Yeah.
But right across the state lines, I think in both Florida and Alabama, you could. So
they have big fireworks warehouses on the county line.
Right along the freeway.
Funny. TV without commercials. So your BBC has no commercials other than advertising its own shows, like no paid commercials, which is amazing.
Yeah, in the US, commercials every 3 minutes, which last 3 to 5 minutes, so enjoy.
I don't know. I don't really watch TV too much, but all my TV services are like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and we don't have any commercials on them. So
SIM cards. Over in the UK, it's not unusual to get a pay-as-you-go SIM card and phone. Whereas in the US, typically if you get like a pay-as-you-go plan, it's like a burner phone and you're like a drug dealer. Like it's just not. Whereas here, all the major carriers will do it, and Annie's actually still on a pay-as-you-go plan at the moment.
It's cheaper that way.
Oh, this is one that Annie's distraught about. Kinder eggs.
Yes, it's illegal to have the surprise Kinder eggs, the traditional ones, in the US. Now they sell, what are they called? The Kinder Joys.
They're an egg shape, but you open the package.
My kids
and then
always
each
want to buy
half
these at the
has
store.
Stuff you scoop out, and
but technically,
the toys.
The toy is separate.
The toy's in one half under a seal, and the food is in the other half because I think somebody choked on it.
So that's what's illegal is to have
point of that?
Food.
One person choked?
A non-food item within a food item.
So no more toys in your Frosties and all that sort of stuff.
But you can get them in the UK, so that's
just don't choke.
A pleasant surprise.
In the US, you can't visit buildings that are older than the 17th century.
You can't visit buildings that are older than the 17th century? I did not know that.
That's right.
Self-explanatory. Where are we? Last one, I think, yes. In the UK, you can walk through ancient ruins freely, like we did in our last video. I don't know if you saw that because not many people watched that video, but many are public heritage sites in the US, and most comparable historic sites are either fenced off, ticketed, or charged, and just...
You can walk freely through ruins. That's pretty cool. I think I saw a video of a guy tearing down like an ancient wall, though, up in Scotland, if I'm correct. So, interesting. I would imagine you're not allowed to do that.
Not the same.
There are a lot here that you pay, like the National Trust or...
Historic Scotland, Historic England.
And a small fee to be able to go and look at these sites. But there's tons of sites just out in the middle of nowhere that you can drive to and go at your own risk and enjoy.
So hopefully we made it before the sun fully...
All right, that was W video. Really, really cool. Took quite a while to get through it all. Appreciate y'all watching. I'm getting out of here. I'm starving. Go get some food. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.